Okay, I'm in the shop with Evie. We're going to try to make it make noise. I don't know the quality of this battery pack, but we are going to try to hook it up and see if we can get this thing to turn over. We kind of have the neutral is, or the ground is red program going on here, so that's kind of neat. I'm going to give the phone to Evie, and she's going to record me as I'm doing this. Say hi, Evie.
Hi.
Okay. Come on in here, I'll show you. So, we got the ground is red program going on. Are you showing me too? Or?
Not really. I'm showing it.
Okay. And now, that's going to fall right back out after I went to all that effort to put it in there. Oh, hey, that's handy. Let's just, we'll go without that for a minute. We'll add that to the list of things to fix. What do you think, Eves? All right. We're going to hook this up. And the fan is on, and it doesn't sound like it's doing very well. We need to get, focus on getting pictures here.
Okay.
We can definitely hear the fan running, so let's go shut that off. And in the meantime, we're just gonna kind of take it in here and make sure nothing's catching on fire, because you never know, the mice and the rats and everything may very well have
Moved in?
on something. Yeah. Oh, that's good. So yeah, the fan doesn't shut off. So, mice and rats and all that. I suppose we will, let's disconnect that till we can figure out what's going on. Hit the pause button. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the fuel pump from the fuel tank, because I'm not 100% sure if the gas in the tank is good or not. Probably closer to 100% sure that it's bad. So we don't want to be turning the engine over and sucking that nasty gas up into the carburetor and up into the fuel pump and everything. So I'm going to reach down here and see what I can do about getting this off. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in the way. It's fighting me. I don't like that. I wish it wouldn't do that. It'd be a lot nicer if it wouldn't. All right, there we go. Pause. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go turn it over. No. Point the camera at the engine. Got nothing. The only thing that happened is when we turned the starter switch, the fan stopped. So, that either means that this doesn't have enough juice to turn the motor over, but it wasn't even clicking, so we gotta solve some problems here. Pause. Alright, we're gonna jack it back up in the air here. We're gonna jack it up in the air and see if we can figure out why the starter isn't clicking. So, push the button. Push the button, Evie.
Should I grab the lamp?
It'll be all right. right, we're up under here now, and we're gonna look and see if maybe we can figure out what's wrong with the starter. And I've got some horrific news. Everything. It's filthy, and I think there's some electrical issues under here that need to be addressed. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna find out. And like that's the starter right there, but you can't even tell because it's so caked with stuff. So I think I'm gonna work on cleaning that up, and maybe we'll try to direct jump the starter and see if we can get the engine to turn over. And if not, then we're gonna be probably buying a starter or else finding some sort of electrical issue that is causing the starter to not get juice. Okay. So I've come up with a diagnostic test to decide whether this is a wiring issue or a starter issue. We're just going to go ahead and jump the old starter with the jumper pack here. And if she jumps, then we know we have a good starter and the wiring's the issue. And if it doesn't, well, the wiring's the issue one way or the other. It's a mess under there, but let's see. I think I've got a starter issue. Let me try this again. Let me try back here. One Toasto starter-o. Yeah, we're discovering more here, so I took the prop shaft off just to get it out of the way because the starter goes right there, and there's the pinion for the front differential, so that's... You could have gotten it out without taking it off. I have to take the prop shaft off anyway because I'm going to pull the transmission. And it was just so much easier. So, pretty well convinced the starter is bad. That being said, the wiring going to it is not good either. It was all kind of zip tied up here in a big old wad. I videoed a little bit of it earlier, and it did not look good. You got the main power wire coming down right here. That doesn't look horrific. I'll trace that out. This harness kind of runs right up by the exhaust manifold, which is handy. So I got to make sure that all of that stuff is still have integrity. At some point in time, somebody redid the transmission lines, and I say that very loosely. They put some flare fittings in here, which... At least they didn't do that to the brake lines. But I think when I pull the transmission out, I'll go ahead and probably end up rerouting transmission lines up to the cooler. I couldn't help but notice that the cooler has come loose too, and it's just kind of sitting up there behind the grill. So anyway, I got a couple things that I'm going to work on here. Start getting this thing tuned up, but it looks like I need a starter. So we'll start there. Get it? It was a joke, the starter. Start there. Yeah, sorry about that. So, since Chevrolet didn't see fit to equip this vehicle with a crank starter, I went ahead and moved on. We're not going to get the engine started today, unfortunately. So what I did was I went ahead and started removing the prop shafts. Show ya. Get down under here. You see, there isn't the driveline now because I took it off. So, that one there, that one there. Kind of figured since I was going to pull the transfer case and the transmission anyway to rebuild the tranny, it would be, that's the transmission, that's where the starter goes, that's all the starter wiring, and all of the horrible, I guess, lines that they ran for the transmission cooler. I mean, it was ingenious. What was it they always used to say? If it's stupid and it works, it isn't stupid. Yeah, I guess this worked, but I don't know. Anyway, front prop shaft's off. They are now there. There's a dog. Taking a look at these, they're actually in pretty good shape. I pulled the caps off of a couple of the U-joints, and the needle bearings are all there. They're all in one piece. Everything seems to be moving and sliding freely, other than it's got 20-some-year-old grease in it. I think those are okay. No effort necessary. So we'll just put some fresh grease in those and bolt them all back up once we get the transmission out and rebuilt. Does anybody know how to drain the oil out of one of these, what is it, an NP203, the full-time four-wheel drive transfer case? Because I see a fill plug. I don't see any way to drain the oil out of it. Wait, what's this? Nope, that's not it. That isn't it. So we move forward. There's nothing there. Do you take this case off the back, maybe? Or this plate? I mean, that makes sense. It's the low point, so what if I pull that off? Is like something gonna jump out and grab me by the throat, or are there like a bunch of springs and little tiny parts that are gonna fall out? Shall we risk it? Or maybe we'll Google it. I'm gonna Google it. That's what we're doing. Okay, well, I'm waiting to Google on how to drain the transfer case. I'm going to take the cover off of the differential and drain it. So hopefully we will see here shortly whether this is good or bad or horrifying, or I'm going with good. Let's go with good. Evelyn, what do you think? Good?
Sure.
Yeah?
I'm good too.
Ashley's going for good. Okay. All right, we'll see if we can pry this off one-handed. It's going to be gross. I'm afraid it's going to be gross.
I can film it.
You can film it?
Yeah.
Okay. Evelyn's going to film it. I'm going to be right in your way, I think, Eves. You might have to move to one side.
Okay.
But we'll see. Maybe not.
What?
I really am a good mechanic. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've done this before. Let me get back out here.
I'll set it.
Here, I'm gonna go over here.
Will you, yeah.
Sorry. I'm trying to figure out where to put this so bored.
Trying to what?
Trying to figure out where to put this.
Okay. We've got a different tool. Let's see if maybe we can get it with this. Or if I can just hit my hand with it a bunch of times, that would be good too. I think somebody welded it on. Either that or it's been on there for so long it's just become one. I don't want to bend this, but I'm really not sure what else to do here. Got a little pause in the festivities. Half of my tools are up there at Grandma's house, that one that we're building right now, and I was using my 2-pound sledge up there yesterday. And I need my 2-pound sledge for this. So Evelyn's going to get it because she's a super good helper.
Me too.
What? You're not going to get the sledge. What do you have in your hand? Is that a cookie wrapper?
No.
Oh, Smarties?
Yeah.
You have Smarties?
Yeah, do you want one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You're silly. All right, let's try again with a bigger hammer, which is only going to succeed in smashing my hand worse. Okay, it's starting to come. I can tell. We're gonna have it in no time. We just needed the bigger hammer.
Good job.
It's not doing anything.
Oh, okay.
When you see a bunch of oil come running out of here, that's when it's time to say good job.
Oh, okay.
Before then, it has not been a good job. being a jerk.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant.
Okay. now you
Good
can say
job. Oh, it's like
I
coming
made
out
a
of the.
little mess on the floor. Little mess. That's okay. But the oil's draining out now. And I mean, it doesn't look terrible.
Oh,
Actually, that's not bad at all. It's not black and shiny anymore, but black and sparkly. I mean, it actually looks like oil that at least was manufactured this century. It smells like 90 weight though. Never did like the smell of 90 weight. Alright. Let's take this guy off and see what kind of a surprise we've got up under here.
surprise!
Surprise! Huh? It doesn't look terrible. I'm making a mess again. I mean, there's
Oh, it stinks.
some, yeah, the 90 weight always stinky. Some gasket material in there.
No, the smell.
Yeah, that didn't even need to be done. That stuff was good. What do we got in the bottom? Is it goopy? Yeah, there's a little bit of black buildup in the bottom. It definitely needed to be done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's some sludgy stuff. Sludgy. But let's take a good look at it. It doesn't seem glittery. I don't see a bunch of sparkles in it. It's just goop. So that's good. That rear end must be in good shape. Okay, well, we're going to let that drain overnight. I'm going to go wash my hands. And, yeah. See you tomorrow. Okay, so not quite good night. Not quite see you tomorrow. Ooh, it's dark. As I'm locking up and heading back up to the house, I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I said in the video yesterday. One of the things was I needed to do some research on what a Cheyenne was. Apparently in 1977, there was 3-ish trim levels that you could get in a Chevy pickup. Paradoxically, the Custom Deluxe was the lowest trim level. And then you had the Cheyenne, and then you had the Silverado. So the truck that I have in there is a mid-level truck. Camper Special apparently means that it's got a couple extra springs in the back. I had mentioned yesterday that it was almost certainly a Turbo 400 transmission. I have since been told, learned, educated, that apparently the 3/4 ton trucks almost all came with Turbo 350s, and indeed this truck has a Turbo 350. So, not that it really means anything. You could take a Turbo 350 and build it up pretty good, make a good transmission out of it. But that's what I'm going to be doing. It's not a Turbo 400. Oh, what else?
There's a dog.
There is a dog. Hi, Loki. Can you say goodnight? Good night.